Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with a new meta deck with my favorite card in Clash Royale. Magic Archer has stumbled upon success with Mortar, Miner, Bait. In most cycle decks, Magic Archer gets messed up by your opponent's spells, especially Log, Fireball, and Arrows. But when your entire deck baits out your opponent's spells, you'll have multiple opportunities for the Archer to work its magic. Because you're constantly spamming with Spear Goblins plus Miner, Skeleton King abilities, Mortars at the river, your opponent will have no time to rest. And because they'll be stressed out in so many situations, a lot of times their units will be lined up near their tower, giving you the perfect opportunity for the Magic Archer to line up some damage, lining you up the wins. It's time to take our opponents to math class, show them the power of geometry, and assert dominance. You can use Cannon Cart instead of Skeleton King. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. Lots of love to everyone that's supporting the channel with creator code SirTag. All right, we got a game against the real Ghost, not the Royal Ghost. He's a real one. So we'll see what's happening. If he's gonna go and jump out at us in real life instead of being like a pixelated card, is he gonna go in for, Electro Giant first play? Interesting. You know what? I like playing against Electro Giants because Mortar doesn't actually get shot by the Electro Giant since the Electro Giant isn't able to reflect it. So that's always nice. I wonder if that's going to lock onto all the Rascals. I think it will, unfortunately. It's fine, though. We can go for Magic Archer behind our tower. And the reason why I do this in this particular placement is if he decides to go in for an aggressive Tornado, he's not able to pull the Magic Archer. So the Magic Archer is going to stay there, and it's going to lock and load up the damage on the Electro Giant. So I'm in an okay spot. I'm currently losing by 15 damage. Not too bad. I can maybe go in for a Miner here so that we can protect one or two of the Skeletons. Oh, one of the Skeletons. Let's go. Little Larry with a huge carry. How much damage did that one Skeleton give me? That's crazy. I think that it did more damage than the Miner, especially after the Miner nerf. So that was one of the best Miners I've ever done. It was deceptive. He thought that, the Miner was the issue, but it wasn't. The Skeleton was a huge threat. So now we're going to go for another Skeleton with the Skeleton King. I don't think I clicked the ability here. I don't think it's worth it. I want to conserve my elixirs so I can kill the rest of his Golden Knight. Okay, so he's not going to dash. He's going to dash afterward. Ooh, really bad for me. I wonder if I can defend this. I mean, I need to go and pull the Electro Giant as a priority, and then I can go for a Skeleton Army afterward. The reason why Skeleton Army afterward is because I don't want the Golden Knight to dash through my entire box of skeletons that we have prepared for him. So with that optimal mortar placement, notice how both towers are shooting the Electro Giant, and the Electro Giant just died. So despite me not having any elixir there, I literally had 4 elixir with an Electro Giant and a Golden Knight coming at me. I was still able to defend. So even if you find yourself in a pretty bad spot, you can make it work with this deck. So what I'm expecting my opponent to do is go for a Barbarian Barrel on these Rascals. So I want to make a prediction and go Skeleton King on top of that. So the Barbarian Barrel, the Barb goes on the Skeleton King instead, hopefully. And then we can maybe go in for like an aggressive play with a Miner and Spear Goblins afterward if we can kill the Bomber. Because if he doesn't have anything besides Golden Knight, what I can do is I can go and pop the Skeleton King ability and then trounce his tower on the other side. So I'm hoping that this works out. He got back to another Barb Barrel. How? That's crazy, man. You're running a big tank deck, and somehow you're able to cycle 2 combos of Barbarian Barrels on defense? That's insane. That's actually crazy. I didn't think that would be possible. This man's got the cheat codes or something out here. All right, so we're going to go in for a Miner here. I think we do tank his tower, so can I defend this? We want to go in for the better mortar placement as you guys saw before. Do the exact same placement again. And then we're going to go in for a Skeleton King here. So then we're going to be dropping off to the side. So then he's not able to click the dash and crash onto everything that he wants. All right, I think we kind of sort of have to go for Magic Archer here and ignore the rest of his cards. Wow, the Golden Knight doesn't dash. That's insane. After the nerf to Golden Knight, it's really significant, at least in my opinion. That Golden Knight before the nerf would have dashed on my tower and would have caused some severe doom and gloom. And that's why Rascals just weren't popular before, because they were always dying to Golden Knights, and now Golden Knight just isn't played as well, and it also isn't as good, and it just doesn't give him the value that he wants. All right, so we can go in for a Magic Archer here, just on defense. There's a high chance he's going to Lightning it, if I had to guess. Magic Archer should be able to finish off the majority of his stuff, and then he Lightnings, and then he's down a lot of Elixir. Then we pile on the pressure with the Mortar, and then a Miner in the safe spot, and then we go Skeleton King if he goes Cannon. Nice. We make the prediction on the Cannon. That's huge. I think we're going to cannibalize his tower right now because we're going to log, and then the Mortar should retarget onto his tower before he's ready. That's what we got to do. Those are the type of plays you got to make to beat Electro Giant. And when you're running Mortar, you have a matchup advantage. So it was pretty fun to win this one. Mortar is ridiculously underrated for damage. If the opponent has a card that's tanking for the Mortar and you finish it off before they expect and the Mortar retargets on the tower, that's usually an instant good game. All right, we got another one. This guy's gonna have bats in his banner, so we'll see if he's gonna be running those flying skeletons. I feel like they're flying skeletons because they get one shot just like skeletons would. It's just kind of weird to see them in the air, Wait, this guy is going to be going in for Golem in the back first play. You know what? I think I want to go Magic Archer here first play on top of that because it's going to lock directly onto the skeletons from the Witch. And it's also going to pierce on the Golem and hit the tower. Does it hit everything? Is it still going to stay alive or is it going to get damaged down by the Witch? This guy's got Miner with Witch and Golem all in the same deck. The most mid-ladder experience y'all ever see. You can go for a Skeleton King here. He's going to go Royal Ghost as well. So we need to make sure that we stockpile a lot of stuff on defense. Never be hesitant of dropping your Miner. If you don't drop your Miner on defense, sometimes you're just going to get overwhelmed by splash damage, right? The guy ended up having Witch and Royal Ghost. So if I hadn't dropped Miner, I would have had to drop Skeletons or Spear Goblins, and I probably would have lost the game. So one of the biggest things that y'all have to understand, Skeleton King, Rascals, your best answers to all of that bridge spam when they've got a lot of splash damage. But Miner is always there on reserve. He can be your best friend when your opponent comes through with a lot of foes that are going to try to splash you down. The guy's going to go in for a Baby Dragon here and also Dark Prince. He just had a lot more splash damage. Every single one of his cards in his deck does splash damage besides his Miner and his Golem. So he's going to go for a Skeleton Army. Okay. I guess I'm going to log that just to make sure he doesn't do any damage to me. So genuinely, whenever I play against a Golem first play player, we know he's going to overcommit with massive aggression any second. What I want to do is I want to go for a Skeleton King and a Skeleton Army, force out his splash damage on the other side, and see what we can do. Yeah, so probably going to go for an absurd amount of splash damage against this. I think I can rely on my Mortar and my Rascals to finish off his Golem. We might even 3-crown him depending on how this goes. I'm going to Miner on top of the Witch. This might be a pretty stupid decision. We'll have to wait and see how this works. I'm going to go in for a Mortar to go and pull the Golem last second. And then we can go for Spear Goblins depending on what happens. Oh, the Skeleton King! It splashed onto the Witch and finished it off! That's huge. Guys, if the Witch stayed alive, that would have spawned a lot of skeletons behind the Baby Dragon. It basically would have been like a tombstone spawner on us. And it would have been really bad. We can go for Rascals last second. And notice that optimal Mortar placement paired with Spear Goblins. We're able to fully disintegrate a Golem. That Golem crumbled like a cookie, and we ate that thing alive. So yeah, for the rest of the game, this one is definitely one for us. I don't think he can do anything here. He's just going to drop Golems into the river, but resistance is futile. This defense is secure. We can go for Mortars, and there's no way for him to break through.
A few dominance is asserted later.
Super solid win, showing you guys that you can destroy Golem first play players every time. This guy didn't even stand a chance. He barely scratched the surface of my tower. Yo, this guy's gonna have a Hog Rider in his banner. Let's get it. Let's see what he's up to. First things first, we're gonna go for Spear Goblins. If he's got Hog Rider plus Earthquake, well, it's gonna be pretty bad for us because he's gonna get massive Earthquake value. So we're gonna go for Skeleton King on the other side, expect him to log or drop some type of small spell. That's interesting that you're not dropping any small spell at all. Skeleton King is full bar. Can we afford the ability? Can we afford the ability? Please, just give me the ability, Skeleton King! No! Inches away from victory right there. Straight up, I'm pretty sure I would have walked away with a win. Unfortunately for us, we got a little bit unlucky, and that was super sucky that the Skeleton King did not get an ability. He had his hand in the air, and he's like, yo, I'm going to summon forth my skeletons with my summoning circle. This didn't work out, so we're currently down 600 damage because I went in for a more risky maneuver, trying to get a huge advantage and win the game with the Skeleton King on the field at his tower because he didn't have log, he didn't have cannon, he didn't have ice golem. I think he would have just died, right? So unfortunate stuff there for sure. We can go for a Magic Archer on top of his Ice Golem and lock onto the tower. I think it's good for us to go in for a Mortar and then go for a Magic Archer here and get him to prioritize defending with like a Musketeer and then have no Elixir, so then he has to Fireball for a negative trade. Because it's a negative trade since he already dropped Ice Golem. And then also on top of that, you know, the Fireball is going to be an even trade with the Magic Archer, but he's also taking damage on the tower. So overall, those are the type of trades that we want in this game. It doesn't always work out that we get those type of trades, but it worked out there. Oh, wait, the Skeleton King, he's smart. He's a skeleton with a brain. He's going towards the tower instead of the cannon for a while, and then he got pulled. Okay, so the Skeleton King ability, again, is going to give... I was going to say good value, and then the little skeleton was wandering towards the King Tower to go and shut me up and give my opponent a huge positive elixir trade. That is exactly what we don't want to see. Also, this guy's showing the Ultimate Champion banner, the Ultimate Champion emoji, so he's obviously a really good player. Anyone that hits Ultimate Champion this season in Mega Draft has to be good at the game because it's not necessarily the easiest thing from what I've seen from a lot of people. They're like, I hate Mega Draft. And, you know, I wish Mega Draft was a second game mode. Personally, for me, I wish it wasn't the main ladder. Wish it was an additional ladder that Clash Royale implemented. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll listen to me. I've been suggesting that to them a lot. So back into the game, the guy's going to go for an Ice Spirit. Interestingly enough, whenever we see an Ice Spirit and a fast cycle here, like, I just think he's going to go in. Yeah, I was going to say, go in for a Hog Rider. That's genuinely what people do, that when they fling skeletons and Ice Spirits at you, that's what they're going to do 9 times out of 10. I wonder if the Magic Archer hits the tower for one shot before he fireballs. Okay. Okay. Is he going to fireball that? I'm interested to find out. I don't know. Can it kill the cannon? Wow, that is really good. I'm going to go for Spear Goblins here. I'm going to log, and then I think we can get away with another Mortar here. just going to go in for a really aggressive play with a miner because he doesn't have any way of catching miners. If you notice his deck, he's going to have like Ice Spirit and Skeletons, and the Skeletons were already cycled, so he can't get back to anything else. Also, if you Magic Archer here, it can snipe buildings, so it's another alternative way. You don't have to just like snipe towers with your Magic Archer. He's got multiple threats out here. So we can go in for another mortar here, go and click the ability if we want. With the Skeleton King after this Ice Golem pops. Please don't let all the Skeletons die to the Ice Golem. Why is he back to another Ice Yeti? Dude, I hate the fact that you're doing this to me right now. Okay, so I might be able to finish everything off with like a log and then Magic Archer and then hopefully be able to shut everything down. Oh, that was weird. He tried to go and push the Musketeer with his Hog Rider, but it didn't work out because our Magic Archer took the targeting. Okay. So we can go for a pretty aggressive play again with a mortar. Maybe go in for a log depending on what happens, and then Spear Goblins afterward. I think that the cannon wasn't even in range. Or was it just targeting the Spear Goblins instead? I want to go in for another Skeleton Army here just because I want to get a Skeleton King down and then hopefully go and take the targeting from the Musketeer. Yo, the Musketeer is going to die. That's awesome. We can go for another Miner here. It looks like we've won this one. I think this guy's just going to make it go super long by dropping Ice Spirits and Skeletons and distracting my Miners. Just prolonging the game for no reason.
A few skeletons later.
So the main downside of this deck is sometimes because you don't have a big spell, you aren't able to finish off games fast. So you'll be in a little bit of a prison if your opponent wants to play out the entire game. But with the Skeleton King, Mortar, and Rascals, you have a tight defense that opponents will always struggle to try to break through. So you'll have a secure win. You're just going to have to play it out. Let's get it. Brian, he's going to have Elite Barbarians and Mirror in his banner. So I'm super stoked to see what he's going to be playing. If it's going to be Evarbs, we've got Skeleton Army, we've got Spear Goblins, we've got a lot of ways of distracting you. So I would love to go in for a Skeleton King right now, but I don't have the elixir for it. I can't cycle to it immediately because it just costs too much. If I spent it right at the river or in the back, he could have spammed in the other side, and I probably would have lost the game. So sometimes you want to soak up all the Skeleton Souls or the Spear Goblins, but it's not always worth it. So he's going to end up having a Bomb Tower here. I think we can snipe that with the Magic Archer. Magic Archer is really good at crushing buildings. Then there's nothing on the map, so then you can spam more stuff at the river. So it's also not just like a win condition, it's a good way of sniping stuff. We're going to go in for Spear Goblins here, and he's going to go Mighty Miner. So I kind of want to go and split up my Skeleton Army a little bit earlier. Genuinely, I don't like dropping my Skeleton Army too soon, but I want to do it right now in case he goes and clicks the Mighty Miner bomb. He'll still go into Skeletons on the other side. Wait, we even predicted the Miner maybe? I don't think I did, but we'll say we did. Somehow we were able to catch the Miner and the Mighty Miner with a simple Skeleton Swarm. That was really good. He's gonna have Magic Archer as well. Wait, can we snipe his Magic Archer with our Magic Archer and lock onto his tower? Yo, that's awesome! The Magic Archer helped out the other Magic Archer. That's exactly what we want to see. So if you didn't know, Magic Archer dies to a log plus a mortar shot. I think my Magic Archer is going to survive. No way. It's still alive. That is really earning the name Magic. It's showing why he's got that prefix out here. We can go in for Spear Goblins against his Goblins that are coming at us because he's only going to have one Spear Goblin in his army. So it's pretty nice that we're able to clean up his Stab Goblins from never even able to reach the Spears. We're showing them why they're superior. There's only 3 Spear Goblins in our army. We don't need 4 of them. Oh my goodness. I think we can go in for a Skeleton King here and then maybe go in for a Mortar to go and pull back the Wall Breakers. So, wow. Wow, that was weird and aggressive and wild. I don't know what he was trying to do with that tornado, but I'll take it. I can go for a Magic Archer to go and snipe his, and I don't love this because I think that his Magic Archer is going to kill mine. Oh, never mind. My Magic Archer never dies. It always survives. Dude, I think clicking the Skeleton King ability is not a bad decision because maybe we can get some of the Skeletons on the tower, and if we log on top of the Spear Goblins and the Skeleton... Aww. I was hoping that we would log on the Spear Goblins. I thought they would walk up, but I guess not. We're just going to let that onslaught of aggression lock onto our tower because it doesn't necessarily matter. So then we can go in for another Magic Archer on his. Dude, his Magic Archer is always getting bullied by mine. It doesn't make sense, but I love it. Oh my goodness. The Magic Archer was even able to pierce through onto some of his Goblins in the back end. We can go for a log here, maybe follow up with a Mortar when he goes for a Wall Breaker. So if you guys didn't know this, both the Wall Breakers get pulled, even though the Mortar is targeting the tower on the other side. So my Mortar is able to finish off his tower on the left-hand side, yet it was still able to distract the Wall Breakers in the opposite lane. If you guys didn't know that, it works against Wall Breakers, Ram Rider, and also Battle Ram. You can pull it in the other lane and still inflict pain by taking their other tower at the same time. Fortunately for us, a Mortar placement in the middle prevented him from getting Magic Archer damage and still pulled his Wall Breakers, securing a super easy win for us. However, that Mortar placement does not work against a Hog Rider. If you try it against Hog, you're going to be throwing the game. Jump into the game here. This guy had Peck in his banner. I would love to see that card displayed because obviously if we've got a lot of bait cards, Peck is going to have some problems trying to break through. So we were able to sweep up all the skeletons and have a full bar Skeleton King ability. I think this might be magical for us. Gonna go in for the Skeleton King ability, even though he's gonna have Sparky for a lot of damage. Wait, the Sparky got shot by the Skeleton King. How did the Skeleton King hit through the tower and hit the Sparky that was on the back of the tower? I don't know how his stick has that long of a range, but that man is a magical man. Okay, so we want to go in for probably a skeleton army here. He already used his rage, so that was definitely an overcommitment on his end. The skeletons are separating as well, so the Sparky's not able to hit them all in one shot. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't hit the rascals. Oh, it only hit the thick boy. Wow, that was really scary. I was like, a little bit intimidated by that Sparky if it blasts onto all the rascals. But after the buff that rascals received, he separates so nicely now. Okay, so he's going to go in for a Tesla, interestingly enough. I don't think that's very scary for me at all. I can go in for the miner in the back, and then the Tesla's not able to hit it, and I don't think you're going to have Tornado in your deck. Maybe you're going to surprise me. Yo, he went in for the Skeleton Army. That Skeleton Army covers like 99% of the entire tower, but not that 1% that the miner was on. That's awesome. We can go in for an aggressive mortar here, because the Skeleton King should be able to soak up all the Sparky shots too, right? Quite well. We might go in for a Sparky right now. I wonder if it's going to go and lock onto the mortar first. Wait, Magic Archer, let's go, baby. This is nice. This is clean. And that mini P.E.K.K.A defense is pristine. There's no way he's going to be able to break through that Magic Archer and the mortar for enough damage to actually make any meaningful presence on the map. And then we can go in for Spear Goblins and Miner and keep up the onslaught of offense. With this deck, you never let up. And then, you know, your opponent will often let you win because they don't want to play against the deck anymore. He didn't even try to defend the Spear Goblins and the Miner. He dug his way out of that game. So despite our dude having arrows and rage to eliminate all of our bait cards, we still walked away with a very glorious W. No matter how many small spells your opponent might have, the swarm overwhelming them is always inevitable. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an amazing rest of your day.